Once upon a time, a widow lived in a small cottage deep in the forest with her daughter, Draga, who she loved, and her stepdaughter, Katarina, who she despised. Katarina wept whenever her stepmother scolded her, but she cooked and baked and spun and milked the cow and plowed the fields. Meanwhile, Draga only primed and daydreamed of parties and riches. Katarina never complained, and as time passed, her stepsister and stepmother grew more cruel and selfish. Katarina always pleaded, "Please be kind, we can live in harmony." Draga and the widow would only scowl and continue their cruelty. One winter day, Draga said to Katarina, "Go pick some violets for me, they must be fresh." Katarina looked in wonder at her sister. "But Draga, violets don't bloom in snow." Draga scowled and snarled, "Bring me violets or my mother will send you away." Katarina pleaded, "Please be kind, sister. I will freeze looking for violets." The widow and Draga scowled and sent Katarina into the forest. Katarina trudged around in heavy, deep snow, wondering what to do. Cold, hungry, and afraid, she wandered through the forest. Suddenly, she saw a light at the top of a nearby hill. As she climbed towards the light, she saw 12 strange beings sitting around a fire. She noticed that each one was a different age. They sat silently, looking at the fire. The eldest, with long hair and a mustache as white as snow, sat above the others. Though she felt shy, Katarina whispered, "Excuse me, may I warm myself by your fire?" The old man raised his head. "Of course, child. Why are you so deep in the forest?" he asked. She explained that if she didn't bring her stepsister violets, she would no longer have a home. The eldest got off his stone, walked to the younger being dressed in a pale blue cloth, and handed him the wand. "Brother March," he said, "take my seat." "Certainly, Brother January," March said. He stood and waved the wand. At once, the fire grew higher and hotter. The snow started to melt, while trees and shrubs grew buds. A moment later, the field all around were blue with violets. "Gather them quickly," March said. Katarina hurriedly picked the flowers. "Thank you," she called as she hurried back home. Draga was amazed at the sight of the violets. "Where did you find them?" she asked. "At the top of the hill," Katarina said. Draga scowled at Katarina and hissed, "I want to see where those violets grow in the winter." She wrapped herself in a thick cloak and began to awkwardly climb the hill. When she reached the top, she ran forward to warm herself by the fire. "What are you doing here?" January bellowed. "None of your business," Draga said, and turned her back on the fire. She walked towards the trees. Furious at the girl's rudeness, January waved his wand over his head.
Святейшему патриарху Московскому и всея
sky turned dark, thick flakes of snow began to fall, and in their whirlwind Draga got lost. Katarina prayed for her stepmother and sister, hoping they were safe. She continued to wait for them, but they didn't return home that evening or the next day. As the sun began to set, Katarina set out for the hill. As she reached the 12 figures sitting around the fire, Brother March approached and asked, "Katarina, Elder January has brought the coldest winter in many years. You should return home." Katarina approached Elder January and pleaded, "You have shown me kindness once before, and I ask for it once again. My family is lost, and I fear the worst for them." January stood and spoke. "Katarina, your family is cruel to you. Why do you wish to have them return to you?" Katarina stepped closer to the elder January and spoke. "They have not been kind before, it is true, but I believe someday we'll live with love and harmony. It is my deepest desire." January stared deep into Katarina's soul before speaking. "Brother March," he said, "take my seat." "Certainly, Brother January," March said. He stood and waved the wand. At once, the fire grew higher and hotter. The snow started to melt, while trees and shrubs grew back. A moment later, the fields around were blue with violets. And there, sleeping among the violets, were her sister Draga and the widow. Katarina gently walked them and led them home. From that day on, Katarina and Draga and the widow began living with kindness and harmony. It was the gradual change, but within a few years their love was strong enough for even the coldest Januaries.